How's it going? This is Dennis Logan, and I want to take you through the decision filter, right? Because I want you to have a clear understanding of what it does, why I built it, and then really quickly how to use it. The main thing before you touch a program is you need to answer three main things, right? What is the athlete or client training for? I think that's something that we all know and understand. Where are they in their development, which becomes critical, right? Because not just their age, but their training age is going to be really influential in what decisions you make and what you should be focusing on. And then lastly, what is the primary constraint, right? We have to think about what the thing is that is going to get into the way of them achieving their goal. And so we have to be able to identify and name those things on the front end. We don't want to get into this scenario of saying it depends. We want to be able to know what we should be focusing on, what the priority is. And that's not always just the goal, that's also going to be the constraint. And so before we start making any decisions around exercises, it's really powerful for us to have a really clear framework on what we should be prioritizing, what we should not be focusing on, and then we can fill in everything afterwards, right? And so that's what this tool is built to do. It's the decision filter, right? It's going to create that framework for you around priority. So then after that, you can start asking the exercise questions, and that's when it gets really easy. So there are a number of different inputs that we have because we want to make sure that the information that we provide enables us to have the best framework to start to build from. The first one is going to be goal. So let's just say that for this particular person, their goal is going to be speed. We'll say that their training age is intermediate. So we're looking at how long they've actually been training in this specific context, right? So it's not their professional experience, right? It's their training experience. So you can have an athlete that is a professional athlete, but has never done technical speed work, right? And so when we talk about training age, it's specific to what their level of competency is in that particular thing that you're training. We'll say that this person has 3 days available to train. They've got access to a full gym, right? So if they're training with you or if they're training with me and I have access to a full gym, that's what they're going to have access to. There are other options here that we can consider. And we're going to say that this person is 16 to 18 years old. So this person is a high school student training for speed. They've been training speed for a couple of years. And at this particular point in time, they've got zero injury limitations. Once we fill in those 6 key elements, what their constraints are, access to gym, what their injury history might be like, what their current status is in their training development. This person's got 2 years of training age behind them, and then what their goal is, which is speed. Now the filter is going to spit out what it believes the main things you should be focusing are, right? One, what matters most. It's going to give you the focus on what is supposed to be developed. Here it says force application quality and reactive capacity. This person is training for speed. So what matters most is that the program is focused on those particular things for a person with this training age and biological age, right? The lever now is improving the quality of force expression, right? Acceleration mechanics, plyometric progression into reactive work, and beginning to use the lift block to support movement demands. What's really critical too is it's going to tell you what to deprioritize, what you should not be focusing on, what will interfere with that success. So high volume conditioning and heavy bilateral loading, right? The lever is movement quality and reactive capacity. You've got 3 days to train this person, so it's going to have that session structure for that 3-day week, and it's going to give you recommendations on what day 1, day 2, and day 3 should look like, right? Day 1, dedicated to movement. Day 2 can be your lifting and conditioning block. Again, the lift supports the speed demands. And then day 3, it's going to be a combination of movement and lift so that there's balance there, but with movement quality always being the focus. What I love about what this does is then going to say what the first decision is that you should make. You want to be able to determine the plyometric type for the session. So what type of plyos are you going to be utilizing? Is it going to be starting strength, explosive, or reactive strength, right? And you want to select the patterns that best develop force application. When we get athletes, when we get clients that have a goal, we feel like there are so many things that we need to choose from. And what this does very quickly is it gives you a snapshot of the things that you should be focusing your attention on, so that the decision fatigue and the desire to choose many things quickly goes away, so that you know exactly what to focus on for that specific person. One last thing that I want to show you about this filter that I love is that it updates on the fly. So for whatever reason, we said, okay, this person now has a lower back issue. The lower back flag is going to come right in, and it's going to tell you what you should be avoiding again for this particular person with that injury. It's not built to give you exercises. It's not built to be a corrective exercise builder, at least not at this stage. It is for you to be able to know what to focus on, what to shy away from, so that your decisions become easier and more effective to make.